Today we're gonna talk about bartering. It got recently buffs that makes it lucrative semi-AFK life skill. Don't try to compare it with active activities like grinding, gathering, or hunting. It is something that you do on the side, while for example working, studying, or doing chores. But also, you can't completely AFK it, like fishing. So it lays somewhere in between. And the money per hour you can make from it is also somewhere in between. At high end of bartering, you will be able to make from 800 million to 1.5 billion per hour, capping at around 9 to 10 billion silver per day if you do all 3 resets. And there is such a big difference in money per hour because it all depends on how much AFK you have in your semi-AFK. TLDR of how bartering works. You have your stockpile of barter items in your storage, you load your ship with barter items, you set auto-pathing to barter destination, your ship sails there on its own. Upon reaching the destination, it requires you to barter and set the next auto-pathing. How much AFK time you get depends on the distance that you travel. So there are segments where you need to be fairly active, and there are segments where you can AFK for 20-30 minutes. So money per hour depends on how efficiently you can manage resetting the barter auto-pathing. To make it 1.5 billion per hour, you need to be in front of your PC and not have too much idle time and of course high-end boat setup. So it will take some time and effort to get to the point where you are making 9 billion a day. If you're still interested, let's get into what you need to do to start making money. First of all, of course, you want to finish Olvia Academy course on sailing and bartering. After completing the Olvia Academy, you will get Skilled 1 Sailing that allows you to use Breezy Sail, skill that will allow you to sail much faster. You will also have the Sailor Clause and Sailing Log that you can use. You also get a ferry sailboat that you can upgrade into Carrack. If you're not sure how to approach it, I have walkthrough video on how I'm doing Olvia questline and upgrading Caravel on a fresh new account. So it's quite detailed and a very long watch. Second of all, you want to get Carrack. That is the best ship tier in video as current moment. We can have here a long discussion which Carrack is the best for bartering. There are different ways how you can barter, and depending on the barter style you choose, one Carrack can be slightly better than other. For example, with this barter update, you need 20,000 free LT on your ship to do 2 level 6 runs in one go. Being able to do so will significantly reduce time needed to finish all barters. Advanced can reach that with green gear, but sadly it has the lowest speed. For balance, you need at least 1 blue gear and it has decent speed. For Volanta, you need plus 10 blue gear and pay to win items, but it is the fastest ship. And on top of that, you also can overcome weight of the ship by using your character's inventory. When you exchange the first level 6, you can grab few of them into your inventory. How much you can grab depends on the LT of your character. You also can tag another character and grab on that character more items, freeing up the boat's inventory. That way you can expand the ship's weight limit, but remember that this is possible only at Wharf Manager. And as you can see, it adds additional things you need to keep track of, which might not be something you want to do for semi-AFK activity. So I generally recommend as first ship to grab Advance, as it requires the least gear to reach that 20k free weight, and doesn't require extensive inventory management. And if later on you decide that you want to sail faster and micromanage inventories, you always can get the second Carrack and sell the current one. And my recommendation is to buy your first Carrack. It does cost 50 billion silver, which is a lot, especially if you're a new player, but if you can afford it, I would recommend just buying one and skipping approximately 1 month of work to build it yourself. But if you don't have the silver, or you just want to experience the ship upgrading video, then buckle up. We will be going through everything you need to upgrade your ferry sailboat into a ferry Carrack. Alright, so you decided to build your own ship. We'll be going with the example of crafting Advance. And for that, you will need to do sailing dailies, aka Sailis. But because you don't have Carrack, it is the best to join Sailis hosted by other captains. There are plenty of people that host Sailis daily, helping new players to get into shipmaking. For example, there is Sailing Discord where you can find announcements of different sailors hosting Sailis. Or just in game chat, you can see some messages about Sailis. I'll post Sailing Discord link in the description for people interested. The sailing dailies in most cases will take from 40 minutes up to an hour to complete. As I said, you want to start doing Sailis as soon as possible, so don't waste your time and start doing them today. There are Sailis located in Velia, Ilya, and Ocula I. The Ocula I ones and Delivery ones are the most important ones, as they give you resources needed for Carrack. If you are not sure where quests located and which one to grab, I link in the description detailed walkthrough of Salis from my other video. One thing I'll reiterate here is when you are building Carrack, grab the Young Sea Monster quests for the Tear of the Ocean reward. This Salis you'll be doing for the next 4 or 5 weeks to get enough resources to upgrade your sailboat into Carrack. You can cut some time from it if you barter a lot during these weeks, but we'll talk about that a bit later in the video. For now, you want to get into doing Salis ASAP. Alright, now let's look how to get your first ship upgrade, a ferry sailboat into a ferry Caravel. The materials you need you can see on the screen. All +10 green ship gear that you can buy from a decent PC in Port of Feria. Ship upgrade permit, a ferry Caravel, that also can be bought at the same NPC. 100 grapha ingot, timber, adhesive for upgrade. Those can be obtained through crafting or Ravinia daily quests. 100 island 3-coated plywood and 100 rock salt ingot can be obtained through bartering. 4 deep sea filled memory and 4 seaweed stock you can get from Salis that we talked earlier in the video. These 3 resources you see on the screen you need to craft. To craft them you need these ingredients. 300 sea monster ooze, 10,000 old tree bark, 10,000 red tree lamp, 10,000 zinc ingot, and 30,000 of white cedar sap or acacia sap or elder tree sap. You can buy all of this from the marketplace except sea monster ooze. So check current marketplace and see if you can buy this. You can get 50 of each materials from Ravinia questline. It will take 4 days. You get 25 on day 1 and 25 on day 4. If there are too many pre-orders on the materials, you can try speeding up by doing those quests. To get sea monster ooze, you need to kill hackers or ocean stalker. So buy from Philibert of Alassi in Port of Feria green gear, enhance it to +10 and go ram sea monsters. You can ram sea monsters by clicking F while sailing. 100 island 3-coated plywood and 100 rock salt ingot can be obtained through bartering. They require only level 2 barter items. They are interchangeable, so once you get exchange option of one of these resources, exchange them right away and get 200. To exchange them between each other, you can use ship material refresh. And with that, you have all the resources needed to upgrade the Caravel. To upgrade from a ferry Caravel into Carrack, you will need to craft blue Caravel gear in a ferry and get some additional materials from bartering and sailing dailies. We covered the sailing dailies earlier in the guide, so let's focus on what you need from bartering. Before we continue, I'll explain on how bartering exactly works. On each barter refresh, you get 1 million parley. Parley is consumed when you are bartering. The amount of parley consumed can be reduced by value pack, barter level, and first mate, Clea. You can recover 250k parley using an item called Crops Trade Voucher, which you can get from item collection increase cron. But it has 2 hours cooldown. Once you run out of parley, you can't barter anymore. You can get new set of barter options and reset your parley to 1 million point by using barter refresh. You have 100 barter refresh points, or if you have value pack, 150. Each barter refresh consumes those points. When you use barter refresh, you get 2-hour cooldown before you can refresh again. Or you can use instant refresh that will consume more points. You also can reduce the refresh cooldown by consuming parley. There are 2 barter refresh types you can do: trade item barter refresh and ship material refresh. With 150 barter refresh points, you can do 3 trade item barter refresh and 2 ship material refresh, but only if you don't use instant refresh options, as they consume more points. The barter refresh points get reset every day at 6 AM UTC, but only after you relog your character. So if you have left your character overnight, you can still consume yesterday's barter refresh points in the morning if you haven't relogged yet. For the beginning, you want to increase your barter count by using all your parley and doing 3 normal barter refreshes, as barter count affects how many barter options you get after barter refresh. If you don't have Caravel yet, just focus getting level 1 and level 2 barter items. And here is the list of barter count and barter routes it activates. Barter count also affects which ship materials will appear in the ship material refresh. At 1000 plus, you will start seeing brilliant ingots and pearls in material refresh. So the goal is to get to 1000 barter count as soon as possible, while building stockpile of level 3, level 4, level 5 barter items in Ilia Island. You can also use Olvia if you don't have enough storage slots at Ilia. After that, you want to be doing material refreshes to exchange the materials that you are lacking. To help you guys with that, I made a Carrack resource management tool on Video Workshop. So this is the Carrack resource management page. I will be showcasing exactly how this page works. So as you can see, you have a list of the items that you need for the Carrack, and here you can track how many you have and how much left. You also can see your overall progress and how many crop coins you need if you decide to buy everything. You can here choose which Carrack you're going for. Currently we are going for the advance. And here you can check which activities you will be doing to get the resources. You can check dailies, and now it will be showing this input where you input how many days you want to spend. So after we check the dailies, by default it's showing 36 days, and in 36 days, if you do all the dailies, you'll have most of the resources gonna be enough. What you'll be missing is resources you need from bartering or from the Khan. So you can check this checkbox, can kill Khan, and it also reduces the amount of crop coins needed a bit, right? Because it was missing only like few resources after 36 days. If you don't want to barter, you can pay 74,000 crop coins, do dailies, and in 36 days you will have Carrack. Once you check the bartering, you will get this new block, material barter simulation, where you can set up your case, right? If you have value pack, first mate, or crop trader voucher, your bartering level, what's your starting count, because all that kind of affects on how fast you can generate resources through material refresh. Once you add all your setup, it will tell you how much materials you will be able to generate through material barter refresh in 36 days. So basically doing one barter reset per day and one material reset per day, I'll be able to get 24 brilliant pearl shards. As I said, right, you get brilliant shards only at 1000 barter count. So if your barter count is 0 and you're able to do only one barter reset a day, then it's gonna take you quite a few days until you are at 1000 barter count. Around certain days, that's where you start getting brilliant pearl shards in material refresh. If you're able to do like 2 resets or 3 resets, as you can see, it's much closer. At day 5, you should be at around 1200, and then it of course increases the amount of pearl shards you can get. So you can use this website to try to optimize on how exactly you will be approaching saving the materials. Maybe you will be spending a bit more crop coins to speed it up. So let's say, for example, if you want to speed it up to 14 days, well, you will need to spend a bunch of crop coins here, 40,000 crop coins, because, well, you won't have enough days to get all of them. Hope this is going to be helpful, and if you guys have Twitch Prime Gaming, consider using it on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BartKhan. That will buy me a bit of coffee for the late night coding and make me happy. But only Twitch Primes. Don't sub with your real money. Twitch takes 50%. Don't waste your money on this. Next, we are going to talk about sailors. So the best sailors for bartering are innocent sailors, as they can have highest endurance stat, which gives movement speed for your ship. Each ship type can have different amount of sailors that it can hold. Caravel can have 3 innocent sailors, Carrack 11. There is also a count-wide sailor slot that you can increase from quests, loyalty shop, and of course, pearl shop. You start with 1 sailor slot, get 5 from Great Expedition questline, 3 from Land on the Morning quest after completing the expedition quest, and 1 from loyalty shop. So in total, 10 free slots. Considering Carrack can have 11 sailors and 1 first mate, you need 12 sailor slots to fully crew Carrack. You can hire innocent sailors in Velia Tavern or Euphoria Beach. The innocent sailors will be spawning exactly on one spot, so put alts there and check from time to time for them. To hire sailors, you need this item that you can buy from these NPCs. If innocent sailor is not respawned on this spot, then you can hire the current sailor that is there and fire it, so it goes on a refresh respawn time. During event, the respawn time of the sailors is around 5 to 10 minutes, and during the non-event, it's around half hour or so. I'm not exactly sure on the time, but it takes some time. Sailors are account-wide, they are not channel-based, so you don't need to relog channel. They are gonna be the same on all channels, but they can be different for different accounts. Sailors start at level 1 and can be leveled up to level 10. The fastest way to level up initial levels is to go Oculi and kill young sea monsters. So I would level up to level 7-8 on young sea monsters. Should take like around 10 minutes. and the higher levels can be leveled, killing tougher sea monsters. The stats that sailors get each level are random, so to get good speed sailors, you might rehire and relevel them quite a few times. It all depends if you want to min-max speed of the ship that much. First mate sailors give you some unique perks. Proix increases breezy sail travel distance. Clea reduces parley by 10%. Trana Underfo auto repairs ship. Proix can be obtained from the quest after you complete the Great Expedition quest line, Clea from Special Barter, and Tranan from farming crocodiles. After finishing or buying your Carrack, you want to get green gear from Crop Shop. Each of pieces costs 10,000 Crop coins, enhance them to plus 10 using Tidal Stones, and now you can start doing the level 6 and 7 exchanges. At plus 10 green gear, your advanced Carrack should have enough weight to hold 10 level 6 items, meaning you can do 2 exchanges in one go, which saves you a lot of time. If you want to have all your servers on Carrack, you will need to grab one of the level 6 items onto yourself, even with advance. To improve weight even further, you can use weight sea crystals or upgrade the gear to blue level. For sea crystals, I would recommend joining guild that does blue battlefield and attending, as with participation you get a chance to roll the Margoria/Rusalka sea crystal. If you can't join blue battlefield guild, then the only option is to hunt sea monsters. The best spot for that is the Krashan spot. You can also drop them from Margoria Pirate Fleet and Maratha. The first thing you want to do is send workers to these nodes at Lerao Island, Tinbera Island, Rasid Island, and Al Naha. From those islands, you will need blueprint, you will need 10 of each, and it's gonna take around 2 weeks for workers to bring them. Of course, it all depends on how good workers you have. It might take longer, all depends on the RNG. So you want to send workers as soon as you start building the Carrack. To get blue Carrack gear, you need these resources. They can be bought with crop coins or crafted using materials that you drop from farming crocodiles. If you craft them, you still need to buy these different ingredients with crop coins, but you will spend significantly less crop coins. If you are farming crocodiles and crafting, you will spend 50,000 crop coins per piece. And if you buy everything, you will spend 105k crop coins. You also get these items from sailing dailies, and that reduces the total cost. While farming crocodiles, you can use Agris and level 2 loot scroll to increase the speed of acquiring the needed materials. Crocodiles are 2-man spots, so if you have only green gear, you might want to group with a friend to kill them faster. And the first blue gear you want to get is cannons, because that will help you to kill sea monsters faster. And after that I would get plating, and if you want, you can get figurehead and sails upgraded for additional movement speed, which can reduce the time of your bartering. At this point you will be able to finish one barter refresh in around 4 hours if you have just a plus 10 green gear, and you definitely want to be using Crofts trade voucher to recover 250,000 parley, as you won't have enough parley to sustain bartering all level 6 and level 7s, because each time you barter those, you need to restock the lower levels, and even with value pack and Guru 50 bartering, you won't have enough parley to sustain level 6 and level 7 with only 1 million parley. Only when you get Clea first mate, you can sustain with 1 million parley. So you want to be absolutely using the Crofts trader voucher every reset. But now you should be able to make 9 billion per day. Further improving your ship and the stockpile of barter items will decrease the time you need for all bartering. If you get Ibn Root Null and full blue Carrack gear, you'll be able to finish the reset in around 1.5–2 hours, depending on how exactly you barter. You can also get the pay to win skinship that gives additional stats, or get pay to win pets that gives ship weight. At tier 4, they give 200 LT, so if you have maxed pets, you get additional 1050 LT. So that is pretty much how you get into bartering. At the end game, you want to have stockpile of materials in Olvia Island and Olvia, so you have a choice to not go to do barters that are far away, and focus only on bartering that are nearby. All except the level 6 and level 7 items. Those you do always, to get that guaranteed 9 billion a day. Hope it was helpful, and happy bartering.